Wortham Insurance is marking its centennial year in 2015. Founded in 1915, Wortham is one of the nation's largest independent brokers and the largest with headquarters in Texas. With 5 offices and more than 500 employees, Wortham places more than $1 billion in premium annually. To identify how Wortham has grown over the years, we spoke with 2 leaders who now serve as Chairman Emeritus of the firm, Mr. Fred Burns and Mr. Bob Hixon. Here are their perspectives. Mr. Burns, thanks for joining us today.
Sure, my pleasure.
The word integrity is used frequently to describe Wortham. How did Wortham become associated with this word?
I would say that it actually started at the foundation of the firm and the founding of the firm. John L. Wortham, who's our named partner, had an outstanding reputation in the state of Texas going back to the 19th century. And he was Secretary of State and friend of the governor. It was well known, and he had arranged for a position at the insurance department for Mr. Wortham, our Mr. Wortham, Gus, the son. Mm-hmm. And he stayed there a couple of years. Then he went to his father and said, "Dad, I like this business. I'd like to start my own insurance agency." And his father said, "Well, son, I don't know anything about the insurance business." He said, "Dad, I only need your name." And the fact that the name was prominent, I think, carried the firm in its early days. Now, John Wortham passes away. Firm's founded in 1915. John Wortham passes away in 1924, so 9 short years in the firm. During that time, young Gus was away at war, World War I, mm-hmm. And it just carried, it literally carried, and it carried to this day. Our name is still John L. Wortham and Son is our corporate name.
Mr. Burns, there's integrity is a word frequently used to describe Wortham and its operations. How does a company develop a foundation of integrity?
When you do business over a long period of time, you earn your reputation. It's not an image. Image is what you guys create. And a reputation you earn, but you only earn it over a long period of time. One of our original partners, Leon Gregg, who I think joined the firm in 1929, but I knew quite well and was here long after I went to work. He said, "Young man, integrity doesn't come in degrees," and he's absolutely right. You're either honest or you're not. You determine what's right and wrong, and it's not much of a debate as to what you should be doing.
When you look back at your career, what kinds of things did you bring to the table that made you a success here?
Well, I think all people are measured over time by what they do, and you're given a job to do. And there was a famous management consultant, Admiral Rickover, mm-hmm. who wrote some of the greatest material I've ever seen. And it had to do with doing a job, any job. And you do that job as if you own that job. And I was not an owner in the firm. And the next job will ultimately seek you out. And you look for people who take their job very seriously, those that come in today with the solution to yesterday's problems, come early, stay late on their own. My wife used to say, "Well, you only hire workaholics." And I said, "No, they were yes, they are, but they were workaholics long before we got hold of them."
You just gave them the opportunity.
We gave them the opportunity to apply their trade and to be successful, and that's what you look for in people.
Mr. Burns, while you were chairman, you installed a new business structure here based on increasing the number of partners. Why did you do that, and what were you after? What were you trying to achieve?
Somewhere along the way, it became obvious that in order for the firm to perpetuate itself, it was going to have to be restructured into a more of a professional partnership concept similar to the law firms. Okay. Where somewhere between 35 and 50% of the professionals of the firm become partners in the firm. And they become partners in the firm after they've earned their right to be a partner. And we've tried to follow that throughout, and as long as we keep a good spread of ownership base between the largest owning partners and the smaller partners, the more likely you are to be able to succeed and perpetuate yourself internally.
Mr. Burns, Wortham for the longest time had a single headquarters in a single city, Houston, and during your tenure, Wortham expanded statewide. Why did you think it was necessary to open new offices, and how did that come about?
We had developed a strong reputation and a success story on handling larger accounts. But with larger accounts come issues that have to do with predictability of income, stability of income. And so we felt like it was in our best interest going forward to diversify to a more predictable stream of income. And the firms that we joined with did not tend to handle large commercial accounts, but we brought that expertise. But they handled a wonderful base of middle income and personal insurance clients that gave us a stability of income that we were searching. So it was, I think, a win-win for both institutions. For a transaction to be successful, it's got to be successful for both parties. And I believe in each case that of all the firms we affiliated with, it was successful for them and for us too.
And my last questions concern you personally, Mr. Burns. When you look back on your career and you look back at the kind of contributions you made to Wortham, how satisfied were you, or what kind of a career was it for you?
When I'm first coming out of Rice University, I'm not sure what I want to do, and someone got me a job at knew Mr. Wortham and got me a job there. I just went to work, and I look back on it over time, and I think somebody was looking after me to put me in that position. And it was rewarding to know that if you do a good job and you take care of what you've been asked to take care of, and you make a contribution to the success of the firm, that you will be rewarded. I had the pleasure of working with some of the most wonderful people in the world. My first group of partners were basically the greatest generation of World War II people, and even Mr. Wortham, who was a World War I vet. In the time that I was here, there had only been 110 plus or minus partners in the firm by the time I retired, and I knew all but 4 of those people. And it was those personal relationships that we built over that long period of time, all the way through their personal hardships and births and deaths and all the things that go with life. It was an incredible privilege for me to serve with this firm and be a partner for all the people that I've been partners with all these years. And looking back, I don't think I could have done anything better or differently. And I'm very satisfied with what I've had in life, and I just wish the best for everyone coming forward, that they will enjoy such a similar set of successes. But at the end of the day, it's the numbers you leave behind that determine in the business world, and it's not all those personal things that the gratification you get for it. So you got to take care of your numbers, and as long as you do that, everything else tends to work out.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
In 2006, Mr. Bob Hixon succeeded Fred Burns as chairman of Wortham Insurance. Mr. Hixon is a student of Texas history.
It's a Main Street, Houston, Texas. Obviously, you can see we had a rail car back then, and Wortham's offices were kind of off and to the left here down one of those streets, just around the corner. So it's a great shot of Houston.
Lots changed.
And a lot's changed, yeah.
Our managing directors own the company, and I know that's an important part of transitioning ownership. Explain how that works.
The firm was founded in 1915 as a partnership, and it remains a partnership today. It's gone through a few legal iterations, but effectively it's the same. And I only point to the growth of the firm over this last 99 years, soon to be 100 years. It's been quite dramatic and very beneficial. John O. Wortham's Son allows people with vision an opportunity to achieve something over their business or career. And ultimately, it is something that once you're able to understand and take pride of the fact that you are an owner in the firm, not a shareholder, not an employee, but an actual owner of an organization, a partnership, then that creates a lot of pride in ultimately achieve in trying to move the organization forward.
Wortham is an independent company. How important has that been to our success?
The fact that we have no financial interest in any other broker or institution within the insurance industry is extremely important, because it allows us to totally represent our client and without any conflict of interest or financial arrangements otherwise. For instance, we work with 7, 8, 9, 10 brokers in London to access the London and European markets. By being independent, we can access those individuals and those markets that we think are going to work in the best interest of our client. And that's been very important to us. The partnership structure allows individuals who are all ultimately being paid off the bottom line to work together as a team. And if you think about the delivery of a professional service, the partnership structure is probably the best vehicle to deliver that service to our client. Our clients enjoy the benefits of a number of highly trained professional individuals with different specialties to go to work for them and develop an insurance program that works for their company or their business. So it's been extremely important.
How does teamwork work to our advantage?
Teamwork is first and foremost within the culture of the firm, Wortham. It's all part of the process.
Our managing directors have technical backgrounds. Is that a competitive advantage?
Technical expertise is definitely a distinguishing feature of the firm. At one point, I had a client that came to me and was talking about his business. He was in the oil business, and he'd been with another broker, but he was looking for a new relationship. And he remembers to this date that I explained to him that he didn't need to go to New York City or someplace else to find the full breadth and scope of the technical expertise that was required for his account. We had accumulated those individuals here in Houston, and we were ready and waiting to go to work for him. He hired us, and I don't think he's had any regrets over the last 25 to 30 years that they've been our client.
You describe Wortham as having a flat management structure. How is that an advantage?
Because we're a partnership, all of the partners are owners in the organization. And that ownership brings some financial benefits. It also brings lots of responsibility. And all of the owners are driving or have signed on to where we're trying to take the firm and what we're trying to achieve. So with that said, we have to recognize that they have that responsibility, and we have to allow them lots of leeway. Fred Burns used to say, you know, you can do just about anything you want to, but don't embarrass the firm. And that's so true, what Fred Burns used to say. I mean, that's exactly right. And so that's what we try and instill in our partners. You don't have to fill out a whole lot of bureaucratic forms and reports and et cetera. You know what we're trying to achieve. Just go about achieving it and helping out the rest of the organization to get to where we want to go without embarrassing the firm.
As you look back over your career, how proud are you about your involvement with Wortham?
I'm not prouder of anything else in my entire life. It's been a joy for me to come to this organization and to see it grow and to see it perpetuate itself and to see the structure and people that we've had. I've enjoyed working with every one of the partners here at the firm over the years, and hopefully they've enjoyed working with me under similar circumstances.
In addition to his Chairman Emeritus duties at Wortham, Bob Hixon chairs a nonprofit group working to preserve Texas history at the San Jacinto Battleground. W.S. Bellows completed the landmark monument at that site in 1939 with a surety bond supplied by John L. Wortham & Son. In marking 100 years of customer service in 2015, it's worth noting how Wortham's relationship with Bellows Construction now spans 9 decades and counting.